Stating even our own military may be brought to its knees before responding, and by then it will have been too late for the rest of us here at home. The world as you and I know it will be turned upside down in a split second. There's absolutely nothing you or I can do to stop such an attack. But there is a solution, and by the end of this presentation, you'll discover just how to ensure you and your family can be safe and even thrive while so many others perish. Why should you listen to me? My name is Damian Brindle. For years now, I've been editor of RethinkSurvival.com, a long-standing and trusted survival website with many thousands of readers. I've written articles seen on other top websites such as doomandbloom.net, Survival Life, and Survivalpedia, to name a few. I've spent the past decade studying and discovering nearly everything I can about survival and preparedness, especially at-home preparedness, to ensure my own family's survival. I know more than most folks about bugging in, bugging out, food storage, off-grid cooking, home safety and protection, so much more. Over the last handful of years, I've dedicated my life and my time to helping others just like you better survive disasters of all kinds. Like I said, it's my life. I'm also husband to a wonderful wife, father to 2 growing boys, devoted Christian, and fellow patriot. I've spent years ensuring my family will be 100% safe, secure, and ready for the worst, no matter whether that's a looming tornado, earthquake, economic collapse, or far worse. You might say I'm obsessed with the lifestyle, but recently, I realized I was preparing for all the wrong reasons. What I recently discovered nearly threatened to erase everything I came to believe about being prepared. I felt like I had wasted money, lost precious time. I felt like I had been sucker punched in the gut. You see, I only recently uncovered a shocking realization which would not only mean the utter destruction of our great nation, but easily do so within the next few years, maybe even months. At first I figured this couldn't be true, but the possibility exists clear as day, and it all started after reading the novel 1 Second After. This book alone sent me down a path of no return, a path I couldn't, in good conscience, keep to myself. Terrorists have a viable plan to wipe out 290 million Americans in one single year. To take down an entire country, you don't hit them where they're strongest, you hit them where they're weakest. In our case, they'll hit us where we're uniquely reliant and vulnerable. They'll attack our aging power grid, which is precisely what ISIS intends to do, to tear down the power grid in one devastating act. How can they attack us so easily? One way would be to launch a single high-altitude electromagnetic pulse, HEMP, directly over the breadbasket of our country. Many nations have EMP capabilities, including Russia and China, and since these nations are not our friends, they could easily sell or merely give such weapons to ISIS, reaping the rewards of an attack, ready to swoop in precisely when we're most vulnerable. And since an EMP doesn't have a nuclear signature for us to trace back for retaliation, if we could even do so by then, it's a near perfect weapon of untraceable mass destruction. In fact, the Commission to Assess the Threat to the United States from Electromagnetic Pulse, EMP attack, a commission stacked full of knowledgeable doctors and consultants, have already recognized this as a critical threat. They state, several potential adversaries have or can acquire the capability to attack the United States with a high-altitude nuclear weapon-generated electromagnetic pulse. A determined adversary can achieve an EMP attack capability without having a high level of sophistication. What precisely is an HEMP? An HEMP, we'll call it an EMP from here on out, is like a nuclear bomb but without the radioactive fallout. When detonated a few hundred miles in the sky directly over Kansas, it will utterly devastate the entire mainland United States. You and I won't even realize the bomb went off. Without the radioactive fallout, an EMP sounds relatively benign, but the reality is a single EMP blast could be 10, 50, even 100 times deadlier than a nuclear bomb, and even easier to pull off than 9/11. You see, the pulse from an EMP will literally fry sensitive electronic circuits in microseconds, including smartphones, tablets, computers, televisions, the internet, radios. They're all goners. In fact, nearly every modern-day convenience you rely on uses these sensitive circuits and will quickly become a useless paperweight when struck. The EMP Commission knows this. They state, EMP is one of a small number of threats that can hold our society at risk of catastrophic consequences. It has the capability to produce significant damage to our critical infrastructures and thus to the very fabric of U.S. society. The Commission goes on to state, the common element that can produce such an impact from EMP is primarily electronics, so pervasive in all aspects of our society and military, coupled through critical infrastructures. Our vulnerability is increasing daily as our use of and dependence on electronics continues to grow. Building an EMP isn't hard or expensive. A simple handheld EMP device, which can easily fry small electronics such as your cell phone, can be made with a few simple tools and parts from a disposable camera. Ramped up, terrorists have a serious weapon of mass destruction on their hands, and they didn't even have to get their hands on weapons-grade uranium or plutonium. The true danger from an EMP attack is simple. It only takes one well-placed strike to ruin us. Since ISIS is already plotting to strike without warning and utterly devastate American infrastructure as we speak, when they do strike, it will have been too late for you or your loved ones to have done anything about it. America may never bounce back from an EMP attack. A typical blackout we're all accustomed to means no lights, no stove to cook on, no heat in the winter, and so on, but with one critical difference. A typical blackout is guaranteed to only last a short time. Not so with an EMP blast. Not only will the devastation from an EMP be permanent, but nothing will work. Not vehicles, not appliances, not even municipal water and sewer systems, because nearly all of them have these sensitive electronic circuits too, or completely rely directly on the power grid. It gets worse. This very same EMP blast will also quickly overwhelm high voltage power lines, as well as their end-of-the-line substation transformers, causing them to be overwhelmed and irreparably damaged. And it's not like we keep thousands of these giant transformers lying around for just such an event. In fact, we stockpile approximately 0. Worse yet, most transformers come from China and take a minimum 6 to 12 months to be manufactured, not including the months it takes to ship them here, installation time, and it's not like China can make thousands of these at once no matter how desperate we are. I only briefly mentioned the hundreds of thousands of miles of high voltage power lines or power station equipment which may need to be replaced. Ultimately, this single event would surely wipe out the critical systems you rely upon to bring you electricity, water, natural gas, food, fuel, medicine, banking, phones, GPS, and more. It's no wonder why the CIA fears the devastation from an EMP bomb more than any other. Just imagine, no communications, no television, no internet, no fuel, no water, no food, no ovens, no toilets, no refrigeration, no heat or air conditioning, no medicine, no money, no lighting. We'll be forced to live an 18th century lifestyle if we're lucky. Just imagine the smartphone-loving, television-consuming, entertainment-addicted masses living without anything they've grown so fond of for years to come. All this from a single EMP blast launched from a tiny cargo ship in the Gulf of Mexico. Now imagine if ISIS were thorough and launched 2 or 3 bombs just to be sure. We could be hit without warning only months from now. A single EMP blast is certainly scary enough, but it's not the only way ISIS can hit us where it hurts. An easier way to attack our aging power grid. Our power grid is similar to a 10-story building built from a deck of playing cards. Remove the right cards, and it all comes tumbling down. According to a leaked U.S. Federal Energy Regulatory Commission report, a coordinated terrorist attack on just 9 of the nation's 55,000 electrical power substations could provoke coast-to-coast blackouts for up to 18 months. Some have suggested ISIS could hire a group of Mexican extremists to cross our borders and coordinate these attacks. But ISIS doesn't even need to look outside the U.S. Mexican gangs such as MS-13 are ruthless, fearless, will do anything under orders, and there's plenty of them already within our borders. A recent National Gang Threat Assessment suggests there are upwards of 10,000 MS-13 gang members already in America. If, however, ISIS wanted to do their own dirty work, the U.S. routinely sees several 100,000 to 1 million or more immigrants cross into our borders illegally each year. Surely a few dozen ISIS members can cross with little effort. It's really just a matter of time. The simplest way to attack our failing power grid. There's an even easier way for ISIS to bring down the entire U.S. power grid, all while watching Al Jazeera from a cave in their couch. It's called a cyber attack. Maybe you've heard of a few over the years. Stuxnet infected an Iranian nuclear facility in June 2010, which destroyed 1,000 nuclear centrifuges. Operation Shady Rat affected many dozens of American businesses for years before being discovered. In 2007, Estonia had key government websites rendered useless, believed to be the work of Russia. Moonlight Maze also discovered an accident, compromised military maps and schematics of U.S. troops from the Pentagon, the Department of Energy, NASA, and elsewhere. In 2004, Titan Rain infiltrated computer networks at NASA, Lockheed Martin, and the Sandia National Laboratories, which leaked military intelligence and other classified data. In 1982, The CIA exploded a Siberian gas pipeline by using computer code known as a logic bomb. Government sites hacked, nuclear centrifuges destroyed, military secrets lost, pipelines exploded. I can only imagine what they're not telling us, and worse, what authorities don't yet even know is happening. Just consider how much more sophisticated computer hackers have become in recent years. Even 15-year-old kids can hack government databases, and nobody even realized it until months or years later. How much more desperate rogue hackers from China and Russia must be for a paycheck? Some of these hackers are even sponsored by their own governments. How much more capable hackers are to infiltrate our nation's derelict power grid, even from laptops at a local cyber cafe. With federal and state budgets tighter than ever, defending our power grid networks from cyber attack is routinely listed near the bottom of the to-do list. How much more focused ISIS is to fulfill their stated destiny to destroy America. Their ideologies are so ingrained they will stop at nothing to defeat us. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. The sad reality is this: millions of citizens will die immediately after an attack on our power grid. It will be like the four horsemen of the apocalypse are here for good. Hospitals may have backup generators, but they'll all be fried by an EMP, rendering them useless. As a result, all those on life support machines will die immediately. Chronically sick folks, such as those on oxygen or life-saving medications, will be next. The elderly, especially those who require special treatment in nursing homes and the like, will round out death's toll within the first few hours and days. As desperation sets in, people everywhere will absolutely panic, becoming desperate in their search for food, water, medicines, and especially drugs, booze, and cigarettes. Your longtime neighbors, friends, and even some family will see you as nothing more than an obstacle to get through if it means feeding themselves and their hungry kids. Gangs, too, will seize on this opportunity and wreak havoc on nearby neighborhoods, even entire towns. You'll swear you've descended into hell with no law and order to be found, and certainly no end in sight. When people cease to have access to clean water, and the sewers back up, horrible diseases will set in, including diseases like cholera, which can kill within hours of onset. People will do all the wrong things as food falls in short supply. They'll eat undercooked or even rotten foods, forage for wild edibles, inadvertently poisoning themselves, even eat insects and dirt just to stop their never-ending hunger pangs. There won't be garbage collection, so people will improperly dispose of human waste, garbage, and food scraps. This will quickly bring massive, almost biblical insect infestations, poison nearby water supplies, and spread diseases which were all but eradicated here in the West. Dead bodies will overwhelm authorities. This will surely add to the already massive and devastating sanitation problems, causing sickness not even seen during the Black Plague days. As a result, many third world diseases will kill even the healthiest among us, easily triggering previously unheard of pandemics nationwide. Young kids, the elderly, and pregnant women will be the most vulnerable of the healthy population, but all will suffer. If people thought they were hungry only a week into an EMP attack, try going a month or two with little to no food. It's not a pretty sight. Now imagine your children or spouse going so long without food. Bread lines and FEMA camps are not the answer. Former CIA Director James Woolsey believes 90% of Americans will be dead by the end of the first year of an attack on our power grid. I'd give it 6 months tops. Russia and China will bide their time and sweep in to eradicate the rest of us. How America turns into hell on earth. I didn't even want to mention this part, but you need to know because it gets drastically worse. A failed power grid due to EMP strike will assuredly cause catastrophic meltdown of every nuclear reactor in America. If the Fukushima disaster of 2011 has taught us anything, it's this. Our nuclear reactors aren't particularly vulnerable to direct terrorist attacks, but rather to a failed power grid. Remember, it wasn't the earthquake or even the tsunami which caused the reactors to fail and melt. It was the backup generators which failed. As a result, authorities couldn't continue to pump the water necessary to cool the out-of-control reactors. This is precisely what will happen when an EMP strikes. The power grid will fail and the backup generators will fry. This means authorities will be unable to pump water to cool the reactors. The cores will overheat, and we'll have a nationwide nuclear meltdown on our hands. Yes, I said nationwide nuclear meltdown. Odds are you live near at least one reactor, or will be directly affected by a nearby meltdown, in particular from radioactive fallout, polluted water, and God knows what else. Sadly, the entire eastern half of the country may become a nuclear wasteland for centuries. Likewise, the West Coast won't fare much better. Our power grid is in horrible shape and only getting worse. you need to understand just how fragile our patchwork of a power grid really is. Would you believe America's aging power grid received a horrid D+ rating during the most recent scoring by the American Society of Civil Engineers back in 2013? In my opinion, a D+ rating is being generous, since the grid relies on an ever-growing patchwork of hundreds of thousands of miles of power lines and tens of thousands of substation transformers, some of which originated in the 1880s. Each year, Americans are subject to thousands of blackouts coast to coast, affecting tens of millions of people, even when things are working properly and without an EMP strike. Not surprisingly, the power grid may fail without any help whatsoever from ISIS in the next few years due to sheer demand or neglect alone. The vast majority of EMP and survival courses are inadequate at best, outright dangerous at worst. Many solutions and courses do a marvelous job of explaining what can happen to you and your family, but few offer proven real-world strategies. In fact, most courses claim to teach you the one solution which will supposedly keep you well-fed and safe forever. Maybe it's aquaponics is the be-all end-all, or the 37 food items to sell out, or maybe they'll teach you how to build a solar panel from scratch. These are nice ideas, but odds are you're never going to take the time to build an aquaponics pond or even a single solar panel. They know it, but deep down so do you. Fact is, these so-called solutions really only scratch the surface of what you should be doing to protect your family. And regrettably, they leave you less prepared because you mistakenly believe you have the solution, when in reality you only have a small piece of the puzzle. Of course, there's always waiting and expecting the government to step up and finally fix the power grid. We've been waiting for several decades, longer than most of us have been alive, for them to step up, and they haven't. The government knows the grid is a massive target, yet nobody in government is doing the thing to fix it. We spend hundreds of billions on welfare each year. We'll spend trillions on Obamacare, yet we can't, or won't, spend a few billion to fix the grid with a D+ rating, which is, no doubt, getting worse by the day. Why won't this administration, or any administration, bother to fix such an obvious problem? Because there's no money for the politicians to be made from it. There's no sexy re-election campaign speech. There are no votes in it, which is why I'm trying to get the word out. You have to take the steps to protect your family, and you need to do it right now. The government's long shown they refuse to fix the problem, which is precisely why you need to start preparing for an attack on our power grid right this instant. But the strategies I found for protecting my gear from EMP were ridiculous. Some told me I should put items like my cell phone on an old microwave. Really? Why on earth would I bother to save my cell phone when the entire power grid is down? It's not like I'm going to be making any calls for a few years. The advice was bad to say the least. And when I realized the government and military were protected but did nothing to protect you and I'd had enough. So I busted my butt to pull this together for you. The answers Americans like you need. Because of my long-time obsession with survival via my own blog, I'd uncover the secrets few people, be they armchair preppers or survival gurus, could pull together. You see, many people had a laser-like focus with their survival blogs and preps. Some were ex-military, so they focused on weapons and defense. Others were nurses or doctors who focused on first aid and disease. Yet others were former Eagle Scouts, so they preferred wilderness survival techniques. I didn't have any specific training, so I didn't have any preconceived bias towards how survival should be. Instead, I chose to learn it all, and then compile my knowledge into a complete program for you. No matter whether you're preparing for an earthquake, tornado, hurricane, floods, wildfires, blizzard, EMP, economic collapse, you name it, this course will lay out the strategy for you to be 100% prepared no matter what disaster comes your way. Remember this, if you're prepared for a power grid attack, you're really preparing for so many scenarios all at once. No food, water, stoves to cook on, or refrigeration. No doctors, hospitals, medicine, or veterinarians. No police, fire department, or first responders. No lights, toilets, heat or air conditioning. No communications, phones, internet, or GPS. No money, banks, savings, or retirement accounts. And of course, no power. Plus, riots, looting, pandemics, and mass chaos. A down power grid is without a doubt the one scenario, even beyond economic collapse, which will trigger it all. So you need to be ready for it all. How? By introducing you to a highly effective, yet simple, online training program I call the Prepared Path, your ultimate family survival course. The Prepared Path uses a unique combination of straightforward actionable advice, videos so you can see concepts in action, and links to free resources where you can get even more details when you're ready, all designed to be easily understood and fast acting so you can prepare yourself and your family for the worst as quickly as possible and for as little money as you want. When you grab your copy of the Prepared Path today, you'll discover what the app concept is, and how you can use it to prepare for disasters big or small effortlessly. How to ensure your family has hundreds of gallons of fresh water at all times while others lick morning dew from grass. Precisely which foods to store and why, and which ones never to buy. They're a huge waste of money. How to ensure your family has the most nutritious foods they need to survive and be healthy while others waste away. 5 methods of storing your favorite foods without refrigeration, even when it's triple digits outside. How to keep from getting sick when there's no more running water, soap, flushing toilets, or toilet paper. 3 ways to take a hot shower each and every day, even when there's no more electricity or running water to be found. 7 life-threatening first aid scenarios which can kill in minutes and what to do about them. Which antibiotics to store, where to get them, and how to buy them when your doctor says no way. How to turn your home into the Fort Knox of the neighborhood when your neighbors lose their minds. How to defend yourself and your family anytime, anywhere, even if you have only your bare hands. How to hide enough supplies and gear in and around your home to equip a small army. 5 ways to keep your family warm even when it's freezing outside, plus how to keep cool if the power never returns. How a little-known strategy can heat your home with a fraction of the fuel traditional stoves use. 4 off-grid cooking methods anyone can use to make delicious, nutritious meals, one of which uses no fuel at all. How to be the first to know when disasters strike, and how to uncover the details authorities may not want you to know. How you can spend a fraction of the cost of a new generator and get the same or better results. It's even portable. How to care for children, pets, the elderly, and special needs individuals when there's no support structure in place, and so much more. The above was just a sneak peek of what's inside. Look, at this point, I'm willing to bet the Prepared Path is exactly what you've been looking for to fully prepare you and your family for a SHTF event. But don't take my word for it. Albert Horn says, "This is one of the best laid out courses I have seen online. I have taken military survival courses in person, and this does not fall very short of it. This course is your best bet." Stephanie Watson, "I love the course. It is simple to navigate and use. I finally feel as though I can prepare myself for any situation. I have all the information I need at my fingertips." Wayne Kilmer, "I have wasted several $100s on other survival guides. Every time I had a question, there was the answer or a link to a site with free information. New prepper, you have got to have this. Been prepping for a while, you will find out what you have missed." David Parker, "Plain spoken and easy to understand, along with being well organized, makes it easy to find the subject that you want to concentrate on. I recommend everyone needs this program to plan for the unthinkable and unexpected. I'm really thankful for the opportunity." Bill Clements, "The information you provide is hard-hitting and tells it like it is. It helped me to realize the tough calls I will have to make. Your bonus forms are awesome. I found several sections that I hadn't thought about." Ken Petrocelli, "The material is head and shoulders above other online survival publications. Your approach is logical and the material is well organized, covering many bases not even touched by the others. I now feel confident my family and I can handle any situation." Matt Ballard, "I found the information very useful and true to my own experiences in the field. I would highly recommend the Prepared Path to anyone wanting to learn new survival skills or refresh the skills they may already possess." Nick Young, "The Prepared Path course includes a wealth of information on all the important topics. You cannot go wrong. Invest in this course, no matter what you may already know or think you know, because you and your family can never be over-prepared." And these are just a few of the many comments I received from good-hearted folks just like you after using this one-of-a-kind online family survival training system. Can I promise you will survive when the stuff hits the fan just by using this system? Of course not. But I can promise, if you grab this program and do what it says, you'll be far more capable than 99% of the American population to feed your family while others starve, to keep them warm while others freeze, to keep them safe when the riots start. And you will know, once and for all, the strategies you'll need to do so. Okay, if you made it this far, it means you can begin to feel how effective this system is and how much this is going to change your life for the better. So how do you get started? How much for the complete Prepared Path system plus the done-for-you tools, which I'll reveal in a moment. We'll get there soon, but first I want you to understand it doesn't matter if you're just getting started or you've been trying to prepare your family for months or years. This program has you covered and is the only one like it in existence, so there's nothing to compare it to. Sure, there are plenty of survival courses out there which promise you the world, but give you just enough to think you got something of value and then try to sell you on the next must-have course. But this is the only program in existence which does all of the work for you and takes away the guesswork and the pressure to figure things out on your own. The Prepared Path shows you exactly what to do step by step, answers all of your questions, and makes it as easy as possible to get yourself and your family prepared ASAP. But let's consider the few alternatives for getting prepared on your own. You could attend a hands-on wilderness survival course. This option will cost you many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just for a single course. You have to take off work, spend many hours traveling, and waste precious time knee-deep in some muddy swamp. Sure, you'll learn some skills, but they won't do you a bit of good unless you're in that exact scenario they teach, and it sure won't help you be prepared to bug in at home or to bug out with your car, both of which are far more likely than any wilderness survival scenario. You could spend hundreds of dollars on the many lackluster survival guides out there. You might learn neat ideas like aquaponics or how to build solar panels, neither of which you'll actually do, then get sold on the next thing they throw together. I've been asked to promote many of these guides on my blog, rethinksurvival.com, over the years, most of which I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Many of these guides are just a waste of your time and, sadly, leave you less prepared than you realize because you mistakenly believe you have what you need when in fact it's only a small part of the survival puzzle. You could try to discover the many solutions I'll share with you inside the Prepared Path on your own. You'll have to spend countless hours scouring the web's many hundreds of survival blogs and forums for the best of the best, the stuff you can really put to use like I already have. Do you enjoy your weekends, spending time with your kids or with your spouse? Too bad, because your free time will be gone for the next several months. Do you really want to waste your life away searching for what's already gathered inside the Prepared Path? Let me ask you this. Do you love your family? Deep down in your heart, would you do anything in order to keep them safe? Nearly everyone would say, yes, of course I would, but their actions speak differently. Sure, you might buy your significant other flowers on a special occasion, or take the family on a nice vacation once a year, even put money away for a college fund year after year. But the fact is, none of these gestures will do a bit of good when the water stops flowing, when the trucks stop moving, when the bullets start flying and all hell breaks loose. And when the stuff hits the fan and you look at your kids, truly look at them, you'll see desperation in their eyes. You'll feel the fear deep in their bones. You wish you would have done something different in this moment, to realize you could have kept them safe and well fed just by taking action right now, and you didn't do it. It's hard for most average Americans to believe, but being truly prepared, having those things which can mean the difference between life and death, and knowing how you can keep your family safe, is really just about doing a few little things right. The techniques I share inside the Prepared Path work very, very well. And because I know you need help, and because I want you to get your family prepared right now, I'm going to let you try out the Prepared Path at a price you're not going to believe. The regular retail price of the Prepared Path is just $99, much less than that generator you're likely to naively buy because some website guru said so. The generator which just collects dust and costs you several times more than you should have paid for it because you didn't realize there was a better option, and a lot less than it will cost you in money and time if you walk away without doing something right now. But I realize $99 can seem like a lot of money to people sometimes, so I want to take away every obstacle to you doing this and getting your family prepared. Everyone who has joined the Prepared Path says it's a steal at $99. I could have easily turned this into a weekend workshop worth several $100s to attend. I was even flat out told I shouldn't ever sell this program for anything less than $67, or people won't value its true worth. But I want to make this a real no-brainer for you. I want you to see how well it works for yourself. For a limited time only, I'm willing to let you have the entire system for just $47 today. Plus, if you act right now, and to put this offer over the top, I've got not one, not two, but 3 game-changing bonuses for you. 3 unique reports designed to prepare you in one shopping trip. These 3 additional reports cover utilizing Walmart, Home Depot, and Sam's Club to get yourself and your family prepared with many of the basic, yet critical, survival items you're missing, all in a single shopping trip. You'll be amazed at all you can do when you have the plans and checklist to make it happen, since each report includes a printable, easy-to-follow checklist to ensure you get everything you could need to cover short-term scenarios without missing a thing. These reports alone could be worth upwards of $29 each, but they're yours, free, and only bundled with this special offer trial price of the Prepared Path. But wait, there's more. Act now and gain instant access to my unique, done-for-you personal planning tools which took me years to get right, 100% free. These tools alone are so unique and powerful, I'm not sure for how much longer I'll choose to keep them bundled with the Prepared Path. Here's what's inside. The works like magic way to plan for evacuation in mere minutes. You're going to love the way you can answer a few questions, click some buttons, and voila, plan done. How to ensure your family knows precisely what to do during an emergency, whether you're there or not, so much so you've only dreamed about it until now. It's easy too. All the tools you need to prepare your family from top to bottom. You won't believe how easy it is to prepare your family when you swipe my survival toolkit, and much more. These done-for-you tools are the very best way to quickly plan for and ensure your family is safe and ready for anything, even if you're a beginner. They'll give you a surefire way to develop unique yet comprehensive evacuation and disaster plans in minutes. They cover evacuation procedures, disaster action planning, designing a bug-out vehicle kit, fire escape plan, food journal, food storage calculator, a food storage recipes database, and plenty more. You'll get 5 evacuation planning worksheets, 4 disaster readiness worksheets, 12 best practices worksheets, and 4 additional food planning worksheets. You'll get more than 24 tools so you can prepare your family from top to bottom. You won't believe how easy it is to prepare when you swipe my personal survival toolkit. Every file, except for one because I had to write Excel macros for it, is designed as an Adobe PDF file and can be used with the free Adobe Reader on either PC or Mac computers. They're all easy and intuitive to use, but just in case, I even have a dozen or so help videos on using them should you find the need. I could easily sell all 25 tools for $10 each, and if I bundled them, they would cost you $120 alone. But you get access to every one of my personal planning tools free if you join now. I've shared these with my family so everyone knows what to do at all times. They're easy enough even my elementary school children understand them. Most importantly, I'd like to share all of them with you right now. You're covered by my no hassle, no worries, no risk, 100% money back guarantee. Simply join today at no risk to you. Use the program as often as you like over the next 60 days. Keep the 3 free reports and even the done-for-you personal planning tools. If you're not 100% satisfied by what you find inside and with the results you'll achieve, just email me within 60 days for a full, no questions asked refund. No fine print, no BS. Truth be told, I love to over-deliver, and if the prepared path doesn't do so, if the program doesn't deliver the results promised, I don't want your money. I've been doing this for many years now, preparing my own family and helping others while I'm at it. I've helped many people get their families better prepared than they ever imagined, and the vast majority of them come back to me and say, "This course is fantastic. It's worth 10 times the small amount you asked me to invest." But honestly, a few do say it's not for them. And if you get inside, try it out, read the reports, use the tools, and still aren't blown away, then simply let me know. I'll give you your money back without a hassle, and we'll still part friends. My goal here is to help you help your family get prepared as quickly as possible. It really is this easy. But you really do have to act right now. If you love your family like I do mine, then I want to give you these tools you need to truly get them prepared for the worst right here, right now. To do so, I'm selling this program for just $47, well below market value, but I plan on raising, even doubling the price in the very near future. Why? Well, as strange as it may seem, even though I want to help out as many families as possible, I might actually have to raise the price to help the most people. You see, so many folks wrongly believe getting their families prepared must be expensive, hard, and time-consuming to even get started. They figure critical knowledge like this must cost them loads of money. Then when they hear they can get their hands on such a breakthrough program for such a low price, they just don't believe it. So I may need to raise the price of the Prepared Path specifically so more families can benefit from this program. You have to act right now in order to lock in this low $47 trial offer. Listen, I don't want to pressure you here, but you've got a very simple choice to make. The way I see it, you have 3 options today. Option 1 is to do nothing and leave. Continue going the way you are now and getting nowhere fast. To keep allowing the nagging, "I'm not prepared" feeling in the back of your head to pester you non-stop. To keep feeling like you're failing your family each day you continue to do nothing. To keep praying each night tomorrow the stuff doesn't hit the fan because you're simply not ready for it. I'd say if you made it this far, it means what you've been doing thus far just isn't working. It tells me you're ready to get prepared and you're willing to take action to make it happen, so leaving right now wasn't really an option to begin with. Option 2 is to try to get prepared on your own. You'll take what you may occasionally learn browsing hundreds of survival blogs and forums, sifting through all the garbage and try to figure it out on your own, hoping against hope you'll get it right. You can try this, but I can tell you from experience and from many years of being in the survival niche that so many people waste so much time and money following the wrong advice and buying the wrong gear. The odds of you getting it right the first time are slim to none. And then there's option 3, risk nothing at all today. Grab the Prepared Path online training program for just $47 today as part of this low-priced trial offer. Go through the material, try out my tested and proven strategies, and become yet another survival success story. All you have to do to get started right now is to click the Add to Cart button below. You'll gain instant access to everything and will begin preparing your family for the worst only minutes from now. Imagine having more food and supplies than most folks would know what to do with, enough to feed your kids for years to come. Imagine being the only person on your block who knows what to do when the power goes out, when the trucks stop delivering food, when the riots start. Imagine the look in your neighbor's face when your house is lit up like a Christmas tree in the pitch black darkness and your chimney is ablaze while his family freezes. Imagine being able to stand up to government goons when they try to take your food, supplies, and guns for the greater good, then move you to a FEMA camp for your own good. Imagine the feelings even your closest of friends and family will have for you when they realize how well prepared you and your family truly are, and how they wish they were too. Imagine how content you will feel knowing your kids are warm, healthy, well-fed, and you're ready for anything. Imagine how easy all of this will be when you have the Prepared Path, my one-stop shopping reports, as well as my personal done-for-you tools right at your fingertips. Just a few minutes from now, you can have all of this material you'll need laid out step by step in front of you. You can go through it at your leisure and have all of the tools to prepare yourself and your family right now. And you can discover for yourself how easy it is to get prepared, so your family will be safe, secure, and well taken care of. I want this for you, and I hope you want this for yourself as well. And I hope you will act now by clicking on the Add to Cart button below and let my knowledge help you prepare your family for the worst. Act now because tomorrow could be too late. Delaying even a moment could be disastrous. I sincerely hope you'll consider this offer seriously, and please feel free to forward this message to your family and friends, because as I showed you in this presentation, the vast majority of Americans are woefully unprepared for disaster, including your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone, even you, until now. Consider how irrational your friends, family, and neighbors will be during any truly lengthy emergency, let alone a devastating EMP attack. Most people choose to remain oblivious to the consequences of not preparing now, yet history has shown those who fail to prepare to fail. The bottom line is, today, you have a choice. Make the right choice now. Once you join, you'll have continuous access to the Prepared Path via the username and password you chose during your 60-day trial period at absolutely no risk to you. You'll even get to keep the 3 additional reports designed to prepare you in a single trip to the store. Remember too, all 25 bonus personal planning tools covering disaster planning, evacuation, food storage, and more are yours to keep no matter what as well. All totaled, the gifts alone are worth more than $207, all yours to keep, while the entire survival course, gifts included, total a whopping $435, but you'll barely pay a fraction of the cost and instead pay only $47 if you choose to act right now. Don't let your family become another disaster statistic. Protect yourself and your family by clicking the Add to Cart button below to join today, and do it now because tomorrow could be one day too late. By making the right choice now, right now, you can save yourself and your family from the worst while others beg for food, freeze, and even die when they could have thrived. Are you still here? Let me go ahead and answer some of the most common questions I get about the Prepared Path. How quickly will I get the Prepared Path? Sometimes people write and say, Damien, I want this now. And I totally understand your urgency, which is why I deliver the Prepared Path, as well as the bonuses, as an online digital product, accessible from anywhere so long as you have an internet connection. The way it works is fast and easy. As soon as you hit the Add to Cart button below, you'll be brought to the secure ClickBank checkout process, and after you enter your credit card information, we take all major credit cards as well as PayPal, you'll be sent back here to register your lifetime account, and after doing so, you'll be given immediate and complete access to the Prepared Path material only minutes from now. You can immediately access all 12 modules, download the many done-for-you personal planning tools, as well as the 3 free additional reports. So really, there is no waiting. No waiting for the Postal Service or UPS to deliver this days or weeks from now. You'll be able to start digging through the material only minutes from now. What exactly are the bonus personal planning tools? There are actually over 24 of them, all of which you're free to keep just for trying the Prepared Path. Every file except for one, because I had to write Excel macros for it, is designed as an Adobe Acrobat PDF file and can be used with the free Adobe Reader on either PC or Mac computers. Some files are static files which you can print out, check off, and reference as you like. The best practices files, they cover topics like firearms, wildfires, communications, etc., are good examples. The others are dynamic files, which means they can be interacted with on your computer and then saved for later modification, use, and reference as needed. The Priority Checklist and Design Your Bug Out Kit files are good examples. These files were designed by me to be super easy to use, employing user-friendly ideas like pre-filled-in checkboxes and drop-down selection boxes that make them fast to complete. Most people have never seen PDF files this easy to use. They're all easy and intuitive to use, but just in case, they even have a dozen or so help videos on using them. Who should not buy this? How about people who have too much money to spend on their preps, too much time on their hands to surf the internet, or those who aren't ready to accept this fact? Bad things can and will happen no matter who you are, no matter where you are. Even folks who have been prepping for a long time find the program eye-opening to say the least. All kidding aside, anyone who needs to save money on their preps, anyone who wants to spend more time with their kids instead of reading blog after blog, and anyone who wants to keep their family safe can and will benefit immensely from the Prepared Path. What if I have a slow internet connection like dial-up? While there's so much else to the course, including the many tools you can download, reports, and plenty of free resources offered, if you have trouble watching YouTube videos, then you will have trouble watching the videos offered. If that's going to drive you crazy, then you can always skip the videos and still get more than you realize out of the course, but it's really up to you. How fast will I get results? This is really going to depend on you. I've had people write me and tell me they pulled all-nighters because they couldn't pull themselves away. On the other hand, I've also had people take weeks because they literally went through each and every video and piece of advice. Yeah, there's a lot inside, far more than I bothered to mention in this presentation. Most people find plenty of advice they can put into action immediately and then build on from there. If you follow the Prepared Path and do what I say, you'll have a really good chance of getting your family prepared in no time flat, even better than most folks can imagine. Is my credit card safe with you? Yes. In fact, I'll never see any of your personal information, not your credit card, not your address, nothing, and I wouldn't want to. I will, however, be able to see the username you choose when you register, so please keep it PG. I should mention all credit card processing is handled by ClickBank, my program retailer. They're a big company and very trustworthy. They take your information super seriously and process all transactions via secure SSL technology, the gold standard of online security, and even verify the transaction is free of potential malware using trusted anti-spyware software from McAfee and Norton, the two biggest names in computer security. All you have to do now to get started immediately is to click the link below. And like I said, you'll gain instant access to everything, and you'll have the Prepared Path system, the done-for-you personal planning tools, and the 3 free reports as soon as you join. There's a lot of really critical information just waiting for you inside. Stuff inside the online training program I didn't even mention previously, and a lot of techniques, tips, and advice you can use to prepare your family as easy and as fast as possible. But all you have to do is to click the link below to complete the process, and you'll get the entire system. You'll find out for yourself how easy it truly is. And what do you have to lose? Nothing. Really, the risk is on me here. The risk is you'll try this and maybe not like it and ask for your money back, which is perfectly fine. It's okay with me, and I'll do it, no questions asked. The money is nice, and I love doing this, but it's not the primary reason why I'm doing any of this. I'm doing this because I love helping people get better prepared as I've always done. Again, my name is Damian Brindle, and I hope I answered your questions. And I really hope we'll be able to work together to get yourself and your family prepared today. So please click the link below and discover everything inside the Prepared Path today. Thank you so very much.